Aaron, but you know me. You know that I'm a professional speaker for 36 years and a seminar leader, a New York Times top 10 bestselling author, broadcaster, adventurer. You know all these things about me. And I'm going to share with you in this live video my goals for the year 2020. I'm very, very excited. Please feel free to ask me whatever questions you want, and feel free to give me lots of hearts and likes and happy faces, because this is going to be an interactive and really, really special New Year's goals presentation. And I don't really like New Year's resolutions, because the average weight loss New Year's resolution lasts on average in North America for 36 hours. Noon on January 2nd, 1 calorie comes by, man, people are gone. So I don't like New Year's resolutions. I like goals. And I've made my annual goals, and I want to share them with you because you can actually accompany me on some of these goals, and I'm really, really excited. If you know me, you know that I follow the Mainly system that I created. Mainly, M-A-I-N-L-Y. Those are the 6 goal pathways. M stands for mess. You must clean a mess each month, but also each year. A is acknowledgement. This is the spiritual goal. You must acknowledge a person or a group of people. I is increase in wealth. This is the financial goal. And then N is doing something new, either new that you've never done before or haven't done in a long time, or way better than you've ever done it before, something new about it. L is learn, because these days, if you are not constantly learning, you are actually falling way, way, way behind. And then the final one, the delicious one, the treating yourself goal is yourself. Why? So M, mess, A is acknowledgement, I, increase in wealth, N, new, L, learn, and Y, doing something just for yourself. Those are the 6 goal pathways. And you must record a goal in each one of those categories. What most people do is they just record money goals. Well, that means you're empty. Let's say you make lots of money, but your spirituality goes, your marriage goes, your weight goes. You don't want to do that. You want to have goals in all 6 categories. So my first mess goal is cleaning up a legal matter. It's been hanging around for a couple years, and the other side isn't causing me any harm, but it's just hanging around as an unpleasant incompletion, just this nasty open cycle that just keeps dragging on and on and on. And I've had it on my monthly goals many times, and now I'm putting it on my annual goal. I just want to clean this darn thing up. And incompletions are those horrible things that drag you down, and I'm really working hard to get rid of this one. And my other mess goal is about my blood pressure. I have several doctors that I've been working with who claim to have gotten lots of their patients off blood pressure medication. Well, why not me? So I'm really taking it seriously this year. I'm exercising really well. I didn't wait till January 1st to start exercising. I started exercising in early December, so I would be set for the new year. And so these new exercise routines are really helping me. My weight's dropping, and the combination of eating properly, more fit, and exercising, so I'm strong and firm, that's going to be able to help me get off my meds. And I prioritize everything MTO. MTO, it's one of the greatest discoveries I've ever made. MTO, minimum target outrageous. Minimum target outrageous. Every time I write a goal, I MTO my goal. I put it in 3 levels. And so I'll actually read this one to you. My blood pressure medication goal for this year, 2020, minimum is no worse than at the beginning of the year. I take a certain med and I want it no worse than that, because the minimum is what you can be counted on. So I can be counted on to stay the same. My target is half of the dosage, and the outrageous is no blood pressure medication whatsoever. So that's where I'm going. And I've MTO'd all my goals, but I'm not going to necessarily read you the MTO of all my goals. If you're listening, please feel free to comment. Please feel free to say anything. Oh, look at all these comments. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I didn't see them all. Raymond Harlell is here. Hello. And Chris. Hello, Chris. Amma. Oh, wow. Yes. And Sandra's here. Isn't this wonderful? Yeah, lots of hearts and happy faces. Thank you. You're a wonderful audience. Now, my acknowledgement goal has to do with family and one friend. And my minimum is to attend my younger daughter Emma's graduation in 2020. By the way, my older daughter will be graduating in 2021, so it'll be a lot of fun. So my minimum is to attend my younger daughter Emma's graduation. It'll be in Oregon in the United States. My target is to enjoy a sweet vacation with my wife Karen and two dear friends of mine, Pete and Paul. And we're actually going to be flying to Vancouver, Canada, and taking one of the best train rides in the whole world, and that's across the Rocky Mountains. And then we're going to land in Calgary on the east side of the Rocky Mountains, and then take a drive or a train or a bus up the Banff-Jasper Highway, which is one of the most gorgeous highways in the world. And then we'll stay in Jasper for a day or two. I like seeing elk just walking around the street. So it's going to be a wonderful vacation. So minimum is Emma's graduation. Target is a sweet vacation. And I take a 1 week vacation every month, but they're almost always associated with a trip that I'm on. If I'm flying to New Zealand, for example, to give a speech, then I'll stay there for a while. But Karen really cherishes vacations that have nothing whatsoever to do with with business. And my outrageous is to heal the relationship with a friend of mine. I went to university with him. He's a brilliant mathematician, and I've just had an estranged relationship with him for about 25 years. I've just got to clean that up. I don't know if he wants to clean it up, but I'll do my best to clean it up. And then increase in wealth. Well, you know what? I want to hold that till the end, because I want to talk to you about, I want to spend a lot of time talking about how you can join me in my increase in wealth goals. We'll just skip that for a moment. And let me just check on the comments. Oh, minimum target outrageous. You're right. You're right, Raymond Harlell. Okay, good. So let's go on to N, new goals. I'm usually in the low 180s, and suddenly my weight has jumped up 15 pounds, like in a month. And so I've got to correct this, and I've been correcting it, as I told you, by eating way more carefully and exercising every single day. So my minimum is to weigh no more than 185 by the end of the year, target no more than 175, and outrageous no more than 170. I haven't been 170 in decades. And another new goal is about books. Wait till you hear this. My plan is to finish 3 books in the year 2020, 3 books. One I'm co-authoring with a colleague of mine in Ireland. His name is Paul O'Mahony, and he has a series called Rethink Internet Marketing, Rethink ideas on different subjects. And he asked me if I would co-author a book, Rethink Writing a Book. And I've actually finished writing it, and I've submitted it to him for his approval and his comments and his addition. So that should be out within a month or two. And my target, the reason that's a minimum is that I've already finished my portion, but it'll still take 1 or 2 or 3 months. Target is to publish another new book, Postulate Like a Pro, where postulate means you think of something and it comes true. Like, I'm sure you've had the experience that you desperately need a parking spot and then it just shows up. Well, we're going to be publishing more interesting ones than that, and I've collected just amazing ones. So the first chapter I've already written on what a postulate is, and it lives in the spiritual universe but affects the physical universe. And then the rest is going to be actual postulate stories, spectacular postulate stories submitted by clients and friends like you. So if you're interested, just please respond that you're interested and you'd like to be a contributing editor to Postulate Like a Pro. That's my target. And I finished my first chapter and I've collected about 10 stories, but I want to have more than that. And The Outrageous is the Power of Wow book that I'm co-authoring with my friend Jack Canfield. And it's in its final stages, and I'm confident it'll be done this year. So those are my new goals. Now, don't forget, we're going to have to come back to the financial ones. Learn. Now, I've been an athlete all my life. I'm a wild cave explorer, a rock climber, a mountain climber. I ride a unicycle and a 5-foot-tall giraffe circus unicycle. And I have run 3 marathons of 26 miles. I've run an ultra marathon of 100 kilometers, that's 62 miles. Took me 12 and a half hours. And I've run a 350-mile marathon, a foot race to the North Pole, hauling a 100-pound sled with all my provisions, dodging polar bears at minus 40 degrees. So I've been an athlete. I've done lots and lots of things. But I don't know, maybe this is an excuse. I'm 75 years old, and I've just kind of let it go, and I want to get back to it. So my learn goal, since I haven't done it in so long, is to run a 10K. And I've run about 100 10Ks, probably more, but I want to get back to it. So my minimum is to complete a 10K just informally, just running around the streets or on a running machine. And my target is to complete an official 10K race. That means I sign up for a race, I pay for it, I get a bib with a number on it, and a gun goes off and I run. And my outrageous is to complete an official 10K in under 80 minutes. And that should be easy. 40 years ago, I ran my very best 10K in 40 minutes flat. That is sizzling hot fast. And I'm not a tall, lanky guy. I'm a short, stocky guy. So 40 minutes to the second is spectacular. But now, 40 years later, I'm looking forward to doing it in 80 minutes. And I also have a spiritual goal to achieve a very, very high level. It's an official level, and my coach can tell if I've arrived there. And now my yourself goals, and these are personal, but I'm going to reveal them to you. I graduated, as you know, as a physicist and a mathematician and a computer scientist many years ago in 1966. It's over 50 years ago, my gosh. And there's something that was held at the University of Toronto, actually in all major universities around the world. It's called the Putnam, P-U-T-N-A-M, the Putnam Math Contest. And it's an extremely difficult math exam. It takes an entire day, 6 hours. There's 12 questions. And the 4 most brilliant mathematicians at the top 100 universities in the world compete for this Putnam exam. And I attended the University of Toronto. There was about 20,000 students, and I was never in the top 4 most genius math students. I was, out of 20,000, I was probably around 15 to 20, maybe 15 to 25 in the whole university in the category of genius mathematician. So I was never on the team of the top 4, but someone on the team would give me the exam that night, and I would work at it. It's very, very difficult. And I've been doing it ever since. And it's so difficult that the average mark of the best geniuses in all the best universities in the world, out of 12, their average mark is 1 out of 12. And I usually get 0 and sometimes 1. So I'm a little under the average. Well, I'm 60 years older than the ones who are doing it. Anyways, my minimum is to have a good idea how to solve one problem. My target is to have a great solution, but not perfect. And my outrageous is to have an absolutely perfect solution. For the last 3 years, I haven't even got one right. It's just so difficult. And then you'll enjoy this. I love climbing stairs. I live in a high-rise luxury condo because I love the stairs. And right now I'm doing 25 flights up and 25 flights down. I can do it in about 12 and a half minutes. But when I was training for polar race, I did 1,000 flights of stairs up and 1,000 flights down. I know there's no building that tall, but I lived then in a 10-story condo. So I would go up from the parking garage to the penthouse, that's 10 flights, and back down. and then I'd go up and back down, and that would be 20, and then up and back down, and that would be 30. And I did that 100 times to do 1,000 flights of stairs. It took me 9 hours and 41 minutes nonstop. But I can't do that anymore. Right now I can do 25 flights, and my goal for this year is to do 100 flights with stops. I can stop to pant. That's my minimum. Target is to complete 100 flights up and 100 flights down with no stops. And my outrageous is to complete 100 flights up and down within 70 minutes. My record is 30 minutes, but that was 13 years ago. So now let's go back to how you can join me. And that's my increase in wealth goals. So I have two spectacular goals, and you can join me. And if you're interested, then I'll tell you how to join me on it, and you'll really love it. And these are going to be sold out fast because they're so exciting and they're new. I'm so excited. The first is I'm holding a Mastery of Greatness conference, a Mastery of Greatness conference. I'm a master, and Brian Tracy, one of the greatest masters of all time, he and I have never been on the stage before. We've been in different rooms in the same hotel, but just by coincidence, and we get together. We know each other very well. We're both Canadians, by the way, although you may not know that Brian Tracy is a Canadian. He was born in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And for the first time ever, we're going to be on stage together, both in Toronto, Canada, which is on the east coast of North America, and Los Angeles, California, which is on the west coast of North America. So there'll be people flying in from Asia, from Australia, New Zealand, from Africa, from Europe, and it's going to be very, very exciting. I expect 200 or 300 people at these events, and what happens is, first of all, it always sells out. All my events, I've brought in Jack Canfield, Dr. John Gray, I brought in some of the biggest luminaries in the world, and not only do the events sell out, but the VIP tickets sell out first, because for the VIP tickets, you get lunch every day, and you get to meet the superstar intimately, and you get an individual photograph with the superstar, with Brian Tracy, and you get your own registration table at the beginning of the day, so there's no waiting, and you get into the room early, and you get front row seating. So there's a lot of huge benefits, but the general admission is also allows you to have all of the education. And if you're interested in that, it's going to be so amazing. You're going to learn so much. I'm going to have other speakers as well, and I'm going to be delivering brand new material that you've never heard before. 2020 is going to be just a blast off year. And if you want, go to Mastery of Greatness. This is the URL, masteryofgreatness.com, masteryofgreatness.com/Raymond 2020, masteryofgreatness.com/Raymond, RAYMOND, Raymond 2020, 2020, masteryofgreatness.com/Raymond 2020. And you'll see that there is a significantly discounted early bird tuition, both for the VIP and also for general admission. But the VIP discount is not going to last long because it's selling, so it always sells out. But now, so you know about that one, masteryofgreatness.com/Raymond 2020. But now I'm going to tell you, in 2019, long ago in 2019, I decided to end the retreats. I've been doing retreats for a long time, for 6 years. In 2014, I did my very first retreat in Bali, and then 2015 in Panama, 2016 on a cruise ship in the Caribbean, 2017 in Jamaica, 2018 in Costa Rica. And by the way, in Jamaica and Costa Rica, it sold out so fast, I had to hold 2 separate retreats. Wow. I keep the numbers down to about 70 so I can get to know everybody, but I sold 140 tickets, so I had to hold it in 2 separate weeks to keep it intimate. And then recently in 2019, I held it in Mexico, in Cancun, where I first got the idea to become a teacher, and it sold out double So I had to hold 2 of them. And I decided, you know what? I've been doing this for quite a while and they've been exciting, but I think I'll just take a break. And I decided to cancel them. And so many of my clients said, no, we love them, we love them, we love them. And so I've decided to rethink those retreats and bring them back with a zest and with a difference. So I'm holding 3 retreats this year, and they're all completely different. And I'm just going to tell you what they are. And if you're interested, you can just email my executive assistant, Danielle at Aaron.com. Danielle, Danielle, Danielle at Aaron.com. Aaron. So I'm holding the very first one in June, mid-June in New York City, and it is a super negotiator retreat. I'm going to teach you how to be a super negotiator on day 1. And I don't have his name on a contract yet, but I've invited the number 1, the guy that's recognized as the number 1 best negotiator in the whole world. He's a friend of mine. He lives in New York, and I've invited him to attend, and hopefully he'll sign the contract and attend. You'll love him. But otherwise, I will teach you all day on the first day how to be an expert negotiator. And then day 2 is unbelievable. Day 2, I'm breaking you into into teams of 6. And then I will, on the beginning of day 2, I'm going to hand the captain a list of 20 things you've got to negotiate. It's not a scavenger hunt where you have to find things, like find a balloon or something. No. It's something you have to negotiate. You have to negotiate, and the whole team has to get together to negotiate it. It's going to be so exciting. And then the first night, by the way, we're going to go out to a musical in New York. On the second night, after we do all this negotiating, you'll be running around New York City negotiating like crazy. I'm holding a black tie banquet where I'm going to give out the award for the best team. Oh my God, it's so exciting. And then on the third day, I'm going to teach you how to take it out into the world so you don't forget, so that you'll be able to use those skills out in the world. So mid-June, it's June 11, 12, 13, in New York City, in Times Square. It's called the Super Negotiator. Day 1, that's June 11. I'm going to teach you negotiation, and hopefully the world's best negotiator will be there and you can get a picture with him. And then that night we'll go to a musical together. Oh my gosh, because if you're in Times Square, man, you got to go to a musical. And then day 2, you're going to be racing around in your team to do 20 negotiations, or as many as you can. And then that night there'll be a black tie banquet where there's an award ceremony. And by the way, I have chartered one of the most gorgeous luxury yachts in New York, a super gorgeous luxury yacht. And the winning team on day 3 is going to be aboard this super luxury yacht, this gigantic yacht just for 6 people, and go on tour around the harbor, and you'll go see the Statue of Liberty. Oh my gosh. But for the others on day 3, I'll be teaching you how to take it out into the world. So that's the first retreat, New York City, June 11, 12, 13. And then the second one, chronologically, is late August, and it's going to be in the Dominican Republic, and it's called For Love and Money. I know you want love, and I know you want money. And so many years ago, about 20 years ago, I held a For Love and Money retreat in Lake Louise in Canada, in Alberta. And then the next year was so successful, I held another one in Banff, Alberta, Canada, called For Love and Money. And then for some reason, I stopped doing it. I have no idea why, but they were spectacular. So if you want love and you want money, or even better, you want love and money, then roughly the last week of August is going to be the For Love and Money retreat. And it's 5 days. Very, very exciting, Dominican Republic. And all the accommodation and food is all taken care of. There'll be a wonderful excursion, and I'll teach you love and I'll teach you money. Love and money, there's not much else. And then in December, my spiritual retreat will be the Advanced Mulberry Hill Gang. The Advanced Mulberry Hill Gang. It's 3.5 days long, And it starts with the best you could ever imagine. On the first night, there'll be a come as you will be party, a come as you will be party. In other words, you get dressed up as you will be. It's really exciting. And I got this idea from my dear friend, Jack Canfield. So Jack Canfield told me about this come as you will be because he was invited to one about 25 years ago. And he decided to come in an ordinary business suit carrying something in his hand. And what was he carrying? He was carrying a book, but he put brown paper over it and he wrote on it, Jack's book, #1 New York Times bestseller. And so when he came in the room, people said, what are you dressed up as? Because he was just wearing a business suit. He said, oh, I'm a New York Times #1 bestseller. And then a couple years later, Chicken Soup came out and he was a New York Times #1 bestseller. And so I've been excited to do it. I did it the first time in December of 2019. It was spectacular. And that party started the entire 3-day, it's a 3.5-day event. So the half day is the evening of the first day, which is the party, and then 3 days of spiritual teaching from me. However, you can't go directly into it. It's a very advanced program. You have to take my regular Mulberry Hill Gang in order to qualify. So if you're interested in any of these retreats, the Super Negotiator in mid-June in New York City, the For Love and Money retreat in Dominican Republic in the last week of August, and the spiritual retreat, the Advanced Mulberry Hill Gang, in early December of 2020, then just email Danielle, 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 Danielle at Aaron, AARON.com. And just tell her that you're interested in the Super Negotiator, and she'll give you the tuition and everything, because you might be eligible for an early bird special if you get in quickly. Dominican Republic for Love and Money retreat in the last week in August, and the Advanced Mulberry Hill Gang in the early December, but you have to attend the Mulberry Hill Gang in order to qualify for it. So I invite you to attend all three, and there's a special super discount. Not only is there an early bird special, but when you take all three, you get a super double discount. So a lot of people are taking all three of them. It should be really, really, really wonderful. So if you're interested in going to the Mastery of Greatness that I told you about, my conferences either in Los Angeles or Toronto, go to masteryofgreatness.com, masteryofgreatness.com/Raymond2020, masteryofgreatness.com/Raymond2020. And when you do, you'll be able to sign up for Los Angeles, which is April 4 and 5, or Toronto, which is May 1, 2, 3. And so you can go to Los Angeles or Toronto, you can do VIP or general, whatever you wish, masteryofgreatness.com/Raymond2020. And if you're interested in the three retreats, either one or two or all three of them, if you're going to take two, you might as well take all three because of the huge discount. Just email Danielle at Aaron.com and ask her to get right through to me, and I'll talk to you or phone you or whatever you wish, and we'll make a deal and we'll get you into those retreats. So that's what I came to tell you. That's what my 2020 is going to be about, and I'd love you to join me. I'd love you to stretch. I'd love you to learn. I'd love you to dramatically increase your income. I want you to have more money. Where do you get more money? At the For Love and Money retreat. And where do you get more spirituality? You get it at the Advanced Mulberry Hill Gang in December. And where do you learn from the experts? In Mastery of Greatness in April in Los Angeles or May in Toronto. And where do you learn how to be a super negotiator? At the Super Negotiator retreat in New York City in Times Square. Wow. And you get to go to a musical and a black tie dinner with an award ceremony. Man, so there's 3 retreats and there's 2 conferences with Brian Tracy. And that's what I know about now. And it's only January. So stick with me. Stick with me because I'm going places and I want to bring you with me. I love you. I love you. And thank you for listening to my goals for the year. And please join me. Please, please join me.